Welcome to my quick movie review series where I watch recent movies and make a laid-back review of the film I have watched. The first film I'm going to talk about is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
But I've been looking for this all my life.
I recently watched all of the Indy movies in preparation for this movie. My thoughts on them? I enjoyed Raiders and Last Crusade. Both are very influential on adventure movies as a whole, and I don't think I'll ever see Raiders the same anymore because of all of the countless media I've watched that the movie was referenced in. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, while kind of a bad movie, I liked it because of how over the top the plot and relic are, and also because it gave us a hilarious South Park episode.
No! Look out, Indy! It's Steven Spielberg and George Lucas!
Temple of Doom? I didn't like it.
This game blows!
Now Indiana Jones makes his epic return. Again, in Dial of Destiny. After watching the movie in IMAX and getting this freaking sweet patch, I have to say that I really like this movie. The plot follows Indiana Jones, who is nearing his retirement after years of adventuring and retrieving relics from the past. But when the villain from his past hopes to obtain a powerful dial that can change the course of history, he must don his hat and whip again as he goes on one last adventure with his goddaughter to get the dial back before it falls into the wrong hands. This movie harkens back to the first three movies and feels like a great mix of them. It has past elements from the first and third movie while having the dark tone of the second. The movie feels very depressing. It opens with a past CGI de-aged Indiana Jones in a fun action sequence, and then it immediately cuts to a sad, grumpy, old Indy as he goes through a divorce, yelling at his neighbors, and putting whiskey in his coffee. While it does open with a dark and sad tone, the movie gives the main character a nice and bittersweet send-off at the end. One of the main things about Indiana Jones is the history aspect of it. All of the relics are tied to an event or made by someone from the past. Most of the time. While history is not my strong suit, I love the history aspect in this movie, and it probably has my favorite ancient relics in it. When movies do time travel, it can get convoluted and really messy, but this movie has some subtle foreshadowing because of time travel that I adore after seeing what happens. Harrison Ford is still great at playing Indy after 42 years. Helena, Indy's goddaughter, is entertaining and she feels equal to Indy rather than trying to take the spotlight from him at every chance. One of the highlights of this movie is the villain. Mads Mikkelsen does a great job playing the villain and he feels pretty threatening at some points. Now it is time to get into spoilers. Skip to this time frame to avoid them. The way how they wrote off Shia LaBeouf's character from Crystal Skull is kinda funny. Bro gets enlisted in the army and fucking dies. His death leads to Indy getting a divorce from Marianne, and it is very sweet seeing them get back together at the end of the film. The movie's third act is easily my favorite part of the movie. The villain uses the dial to go back to 1939 to fix Hitler's mistakes so he can win the war, but the dial sends him back to 214 BC during the siege of Syracuse, and the movie gets straight up bonkers with the action. The plane crashes down while the Nazis on the plane get shot left and right by Roman harpoons. It is insane. The movie goes full circle as Indy gets to see history happen right before his eyes. After seeing how the character studied history and find ancient relics most of his life, it is very gratifying to watch this moment happen. Overall, the movie is a fun blast from the past. Literally. It has great action moments, delightful characters, and a crazy third act. This is probably my second or maybe my favorite movie of the series. I can't choose right now, both Last Crusade and this movie are very good. I highly recommend that you give this movie a watch, and if you haven't yet, watch the other Indiana Jones movies. Dial of Destiny is one last wild ride that I will never forget. 8 out of 10, go watch it.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah.